I just logged into an IRC chat room, and even before I can begin to have a conversation with anyone, my screen is just filled with ads. What are they selling? Sex drugs. Poppers, to be exact, is the latest drug to gain popularity in Singapore. Not so much amongst men having trouble with their manhood, but amongst the homosexual community. Poppers are actually small bottles filled with liquid chemicals called alkyl nitrites. The aromas are inhaled. They dilate the blood vessels, hence allowing more blood to get to the heart, delivering a short, sharp high. They also relax the muscles in the anus and vaginal area, thus facilitating sex. Although they're not sold openly at sex shops or pharmacies, they're openly sold in these chat rooms. I chatted with one seller under the guise of a potential buyer. The conversation was brief. I decided on the brands I wanted, and after agreeing on the price, $100 for 4 premium brand bottles, we exchanged phone numbers and fixed a meeting place within 15 minutes.
Hey, hi.
Everything, please check.
I don't know it's the real one. If any problem, I can come back to you.
Yeah,
Can call you now.
Anytime, just SMS me. After press, very to choose one also, so depending on what you want.
Any side effects?
Side effects. Some people who overdo it end up with a migraine or headache. And don't, have some self-control. Don't,
But it's safe, right?
well, no one has died from using this so far.
Currently, this drug lies in a legal gray area. While it's not an offense under the Central Narcotics Bureau's Misuse of Drugs Act or Intoxicating Substances Act, amyl nitrite, which is a form of alkyl nitrite, is a controlled substance under the Poisons Act. This means it's illegal to sell it without a license. Get Real trawled through the forums and found out that certain men's-only clubs and saunas around Chinatown and Tanjung Pagar sell poppers as well. Get Real decided to confirm this.
You sell coffee? Are you a member here?
No, I'm not.
We don't sell to non-members. So
Okay. If I become member, if I register as a member,
normal price, $23.
what type of property?
Ranch and languages.
Hi. You have poppers.
Sorry?
You have poppers.
Yes. Which one you want?
Which one is the recommended one?
Recommend, this is our best seller.
Rice. How much?
35.
35. 35. I just settle for the gold. The gold.
One.
Yeah, okay.
During Get Real's earlier chat in the gay chat rooms, we noticed that people were openly soliciting for chemsex. This means sex under the influence of narcotics. For example, aside from using poppers, regular drugs like ecstasy, ketamine, and ice were used.
In the long term, again, dependence on some kind of chemicals can be harmful, and as we've seen in the news, there can be deaths occasionally arising from use or overuse, and people tend to take more risks when they're using these kind of sex drugs, more anonymous sex with people that you don't know, and then also less use of condoms and protection otherwise.
This is a cause for concern, especially for AIDS activists. They fear that sex under the influence of drugs could lead to a spike in HIV infections among the gay community in Singapore. HIV infection rates amongst homosexual men have been steadily climbing. Last year, there were 151 infections amongst homosexual men compared to the 130 the year before.
Been shown in overseas studies that the increased use of substances actually there's a correlationship between an increased use in substance abuse as well as HIV infection. With the use of internet, globalization and traveling, Singaporeans being able to travel overseas, we are definitely looking at an increased trend in the number of people having access to all these drugs. At this point in time, we can't really restrict the flow of these substances.
With greater feelings of alienation and, in the modern world, things are tough and people are stressed and less happy and, more anxious about things, then people are going to be looking for more of these thrills, short-term thrills, whether or not they go bungee jumping tonight or engage in risky sexual practices or with drugs. I think the general trend, unfortunately, is upwards.
So far, poppers are not thought to have any severe harmful effects, nor are they thought to be physically addictive. The only form of addiction might be psychological. But like it or not, be it poppers, counterfeit ED drugs, or illegal Chinese sex drugs, they are here to stay. So the onus really lies on the individual to make that decision to stay clean and safe.